Good morning and welcome to another episode of Josh and Pat. I'm Joshua Klein, joined by Patrick Cassett, and it's baseball season, Patrick.
Let's go. Orioles have a young, exciting team. I mean, I'm ready.
I think they do. I think we have a real shot. If last season is any indication on the trajectory of the Orioles right now, I mean, it's not unreasonable to believe that we could be World Series champs at the end of this.
Oh, at very least playoffs, Josh. I mean, it's nice to have baseball back. Baltimore's a
exciting.
baseball town. We know it. That's what it is.
It's always been a baseball town, you know. Think about the great
Mhm.
players that have come from the Orioles organization, and you think of Cal Ripken. You think of all the other players that have come from the Orioles organization, and
Right.
you just can't
Cal
help
Ripken,
but
Brooks
get
Robinson.
excited for
Right.
baseball season. We can't do this, Patrick. I didn't want to do this. I don't think anybody wants to talk about this. But I feel like we have to, Patrick. As journalists, as representation of a certain organization, we have to discuss the events that occurred in Cincinnati last night.
Yeah,
And I
it was a
think
tough one.
the best way to air out these feelings that we're feeling are, and I asked you to, and I wrote one myself, to read them and to just say exactly what's on our mind. Patrick, the floor is yours.
Dear Mr. Brashadi, this sure feels like the end of an era for our Baltimore Ravens. What once brought us joy, Lamar Jackson, saved the franchise, saved the city, saved the team. But now, 5 years later, things feel at a crossroad. Where do we go from here? Everyone hates the offensive coordinator. People are asking for the head coach to be gone. And now, fans don't even want Lamar Jackson back. Where do we go from here? Mr. Brashadi, I ask that we ride the ship, that we figure things out, and we return this franchise to glory. Mr. Brashadi, now change is needed. Where do we go from here? We start winning. Mr. Brashadi, the Ravens deserve to win. Baltimore deserves a winner, and it's not happening. Change is needed. Whether Lamar Jackson comes back or not, real change is needed on the offensive side of the ball. This can't keep happening. The experiment has not worked. One playoff win in the last 8 years is not how a franchise like the Ravens are known for. And now, here we are after another devastating playoff loss. Mr. Brashadi, let's end these heartbroken losses and let's bring the Ravens back to the top.
Here we go. This is a tough one. Dear Baltimore Ravens, owner Steve Bisciotti, and GM Eric DaCosta, what are we doing? It has been over 8 hours since our elimination, and offensive coordinator Greg Roman is still on the payroll. That needs to change. It does not surprise me that we lost, however, because although the Picks and Pancakes curse was strong, the Klein kicking curse is stronger. In 2019, you awarded my dad and myself the ability to kick field goals on the field following the game. That was canceled. You said you'd make it up to us, and we would do it in 2020, and since then, it's become apparent you lied. My demands are simple. I want to kick field goals with Tucker. Have him wish me happy birthday, as we share one and he always ghosts me. And the opportunity to practice as wide receiver in full pads going against Marlon Humphrey. I will also accept being awarded the ability to call plays for 1/4 of a game. Until these demands are met, the Ravens are cursed. I don't make the rules. Sincerely, a disappointed Ravens fan. Now that we got that out of the way, Patrick, I think we can really get the show going. I mean, what happened,
Yeah.
Patrick? That was disgusting. You know what? This is just makes me more upset than anything, Patrick, because let's be real. People are going to say, you can't be too mad. You were going against the Bengals. You were 8.5-point underdogs or something ridiculous.
Mhm.
You know, the fact that you were even close in that game, you should feel proud of. No, I don't feel
No.
proud of that, Patrick, because we demonstrated we had the ability to win it. It's not like we're saying, oh, well, we were like completely, utterly out of it. If we just do a couple things differently, we win that game. If we don't extend when we're 2 yards away from the goal line and fumble it and have the longest fumble recovery for a touchdown against us in the history of the postseason, we win that game. If we know
Josh,
how to just have to manage the clock 1%, we win that game. There's so many things you could point to. If we do this and don't absolutely suck, we win that game.
Josh, Tyler Huntley played a hell of a game last night. Okay, I don't know. There's so many different things that I sit here now 8 hours later and I'm like, how did that happen? I mean, the Ravens showed that they were the better team last night. Now that doesn't mean they won the game, obviously, and it doesn't mean that that's how football works. But it sure does feel like the end of an era, Josh. I don't think Lamar Jackson will play another
Well,
game.
where do you go from here? Lamar Jackson doesn't step on the field, which that's his decision. Obviously, RG3 tweets out, this is why you don't play in a knee brace. And he showed, himself collapsing. And obviously,
Well,
we know
look,
that his trajectory of his career completely
look,
changed after that. I
look, Josh,
understand all that.
look at Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson's biggest supporter, said put a brace on.
No,
And
that's
that was
exactly.
not something I was expecting to hear.
I just think this. You're the quarterback of the team. You want to be the quarterback for the foreseeable future. You want the franchise to buy into you. You got to show up when the franchise needs you. And listen, and if you can't show up when the franchise needs you, and that's actually just not a possibility, then guess what? We need to find somebody the franchise can rely on. And I hate saying that. I love Lamar. He's given us some great moments. If Lamar is quarterback of that game, I think we win it potentially. Because as
Maybe.
great as Huntley did, I think Huntley put up a good fight other than the 98-yard fumble, which, probably not great. I think Lamar could be the difference maker in that game because he's that good when he's playing good. That being said, it just feels like based off of the way the locker room has probably perceived him not being in that game and everything else, and especially now that looking back where if we have him, people think we probably could have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like the damage might be too much to recover from.
Yeah, no, and it's not that I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not that I'm saying that Lamar should have put a brace on. I'm just saying there seems like there was a lot of pushback in that locker room that people do not feel like Lamar was giving it its all to come back and play. And when you have a defense that's that good, man, they could have made a run. And not this was a flawed football team, but you're wasting such a good defense.
Oh my
And
gosh. But I think the defense is exciting though because I think this defense is going to be around for some time to come. I mean, you got Kyle
right, Josh,
Hamilton's
but who's
really
going to play
coming into
quarterback next
himself.
year?
Now that's the $1 million question. Okay,
Right.
and
So you can have a
I
great.
wish we had a wheel spin to say who would be playing quarterback next year. I don't know. Could be Bryce Young, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, if you have this good of a defense, you're in a win now mode. Okay. They
Hey,
have a
what about 2000? What about 2000? Why don't we just go back to that? I mean, we went 5 games without scoring a touchdown. Let's,
right.
Let's bring that back.
I would argue the playoffs was going to be our 4 game window where we don't score a touchdown, and that didn't work. So
we were well, no, we scored though. That's the thing. We scored.
we did score. Defense,
And
and it wasn't defense fault. It
defense,
was a
oh
98-yard
man,
fumble.
defense looked good. Defense forced a 3 and out. And then we punt the ball and they obviously first of all, roughing the punter, it confuses me. It's like, so if you go after the kick to block it, it's like, and you don't block it, you're going to rough the punter. I don't see any way around it. Like, what are you supposed to do? To stop yourself like mid-air and then just go rewind? I just don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. And he
It's a
landed.
very funny thing where it's like you go all out, and it's like, well, if you get a fingertip on the ball, you can do whatever you want to the punter. But if you
Yeah,
don't get
but if
there,
you don't, it's all or nothing. It's like, what are we doing? Like, what is that rule? It makes no sense. But like I said, so then all of a sudden we rough the punter, and then they get the ball back, and our defense again, it's like another 3-and-out. That was great, and this is where I think that Bengals fans should be concerned. Now, obviously, Buffalo does not have nearly the defense that the Ravens have. I think I could be wrong, but that's I think. But what I will say is Buffalo's going to score a lot more points.
I think that's confident to say that.
And so it's like
Did
the
you
Bengals
did you
fans
see
should
what?
be worried a little bit.
Okay, no offense to Demarcus Robinson. I like Demarcus Robinson, but he was the number
Love
three
him.
receiver on the Ravens entering the
And
season. Did you see what he did to Eli Apple last night? Imagine what Stephon Diggs can do.
well, Eli Apple now he's also kind of hurt, and that's the thing. The Bengals squad is hurt. I will understand. I do understand that. Um, that he said Eli Apple. He
Actually,
did.
I
He
don't
got
understand that,
toasted.
Josh.
He got
Josh, I
toasted.
don't
He's like,
understand that.
how you make an apple pie, Patrick? You put
Josh,
like
you know
apple.
why? You know why I don't understand that is
Why
because
not?
when the Bengals danced on the grave of Josh Johnson last year, okay, they didn't care about a damn injury.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look,
That's
I
true.
don't want to see anyone get hurt, but I don't want the Bengals to play. Oh well, we're hurt card.
Very fair. That's very fair. Yeah, the Bengals do have some holes I think they need to fill, and I think the Ravens expose them in certain areas. Should be interesting. Joe Burrow. I mean, let's be real. Like Joe Burrow, he didn't go crazy last night.
209 yards.
That's all I'm saying. I bet you that ruined a lot of parlays.
Oh yeah,
Ravens were a parlay killer last night.
yeah.
They killed many. They killed many. And here's what I'll say though. There's a guy who bet like $1 million on Ravens. He got the odds at +6.5. This was when Lamar Jackson was potentially playing or not playing. Dude, if you waited like 48 hours for the Lamar announcement,
You win big.
you win really big. This is one of the best mornings of your life.
Well. Speaking of big bets, did you see the guy that put in over $1 million on the Chargers
When
live
they're up
bet?
20, when they're up 27 to pay out, I think it was $5,000, Patrick, or
Yeah,
something like that. It's something
I think it
crazy
might have been 10
small.
grand.
Might have been
Very
10.
small. I mean, the odds
It
were
was not.
100% in your
It's
favor.
like the risk reward there it's not there. It's like even if you're replacing if every single game in the history of the universe that's a team is up like 27-0, you place $1 million bet on, at the end of it you're gonna have like you're still if all of them hit,
I would
you're gonna have like a
argue
million and like $30,000, you know?
I would argue that you would be way happier just putting $5 down every single time there's a big gap like the Jaguars did down. And then the one
Yeah.
time you hit it, you would be
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah. Somebody did do that. Somebody cashed big, I think, on that. It was surprising. That was an interesting comeback, and I didn't think we were going to talk about this right now, but I like the segment or the segue into that. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, 4 interceptions. They are down 27 points. How do the Chargers, and you kind of predicted this, Patrick, on last week's show. You said Chargers going to Charger. They
they do.
choke. They choked big. But
They
I
do.
think the Chargers choking was honestly, I think that was less of the story. And the bigger story is Trevor Lawrence just did not flinch. Like the mental ability to throw 4 interceptions and then just completely go flush it and then throw 4 straight touchdowns. Not many people have that. And I think Trevor Lawrence could have a very, very bright future.
Wow, big of you to say. Former number
They
one
I
overall pick could have a bright future.
I think so, Patrick. I mean, well, listen, Patrick, what do you want me to say? Like last year,
Look,
he had one of the historically bad coaches in the NFL. We didn't know what he was going to be. He threw a lot of interceptions. He still throws a little bit too many interceptions, but I think that he's sitting in a good spot. I think
I'll
I,
tell you
I think
what,
he could be
man.
good.
I'm rooting for the Jags. It's nice to see some new colors in the playoffs. They're going to go to
Well,
Kansas
Patrick,
City.
they were in the AFC Championship game a few years ago. It's not like they
That was
completely
like 7 years ago.
7 years.
That was like 6, 7 years ago, wasn't it? Wasn't that like
Jeez,
2016, 17?
I don't know, but Jalen Ramsey going crazy.
That was fun. That when they beat the
Uh,
Steelers, that was
Blake Bortles, man.
quietly retired. He's a legend. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, the Jags. You look at them; they're not that great of a team. There's a reason why they were the 4 seed.
Yeah, I think that they're all right though. I think that they're good enough to make a run of the playoffs, Patrick. If you can come back from a 27-point deficit against any team, I think
The Chargers.
you have the ability to. Yeah, right. The
Did,
Chargers
did,
is
did,
true.
did the Jaguars? Okay, here's a great question. Did the Jaguars win the game or did the Chargers lose the game?
Chargers lost the game. If you're up
Thank you.
27-0, you
Thank you.
always is that team lost the game, but that doesn't mean that the Jaguars did nothing. They really had to work for that, Patrick. That was ridiculous. I mean, I don't hope. This is where it's tough for me, Patrick, because I will say, like, I hope people lose their jobs because it's sports and I care about that. Obviously,
Yeah.
guys, I don't want, I hate the idea of somebody losing their job. And, they're going back to their family and saying, okay, honey, guess probably going to go Houston if I had to guess. Probably gonna go, to Chicago. Might be going to Chicago. I don't know. Like that. I get it. Like you don't want to go. That makes sense. You got to pick up your family, pack up the bags. That's usually what happens when somebody gets fired. They're going to Chicago. They're going to Houston. They're going to a city that it's probably going to be tough to Succeed at. That's like if somebody got fired from Barstool and then they had to come work here. You know, like I'm sorry, man. That's tough. If like Pat McAfee like fired Boston Connor and like all of a sudden he was sitting on our couch, you know, like that's some would say it's an upgrade. Most would not. I would say it's an upgrade though. I would say it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a nicer couch.
Oh, it's a nice couch, Patrick. You've sat on it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's probably a nicer couch than the one I got at their office.
Probably is. Yeah, yeah. And once we move into the new studio, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Moving on, Patrick, because a lot of games happened. So obviously, 49ers. I mean the Chargers lose, and the Jaguars have a massive comeback. The Jaguars, everyone kind of their perception of the Jaguars was that they weren't that good, and then they showed up and in a big way. One team that some people thought were great, some people thought were frauds, and people really kind of disagreed on who they were or what they were was the Minnesota Vikings. And turns out, if you said they were frauds, you would have been right because they lost to the Giants in a game that it was close at times, but it really wasn't that close. Kirk Cousins didn't play great. He played all right, but when the moment came for him to get a big fourth down, he did a 3-yard check down. And I'm no expert, Patrick. I'm no offensive coordinator. I'm no coach. But when you need 8 yards, you should probably throw for 8 or more yards.
Right. And well, in all fairness to him, I think it was Dexter Lawrence was right in his face. That being said, I think I may be one of the worst NFL pickers, NFL gamblers. I can't get a game right. Okay. I can't. I lost every bet I placed this weekend. I thought the Vikings could. I sat here weeks ago. I said the Vikings will win one playoff game. So what did I tell myself? I said I have to pick the Vikings to win their first playoff game. Why? Everybody else was like, no, Giants. Look, the Giants. You said Giants. I
Did say.
I don't even know. Like at this point, like the problem is like if I start to fade myself, I overthink the fade. So now, like I don't even know where to go from here.
Well, I mean, that's Patrick. I'm right there with you. Picks and pancakes last night. We decided to ride the curse. And then all of a sudden the curse said, yeah, we're not going to show
Well,
up. To
maybe it
be
was
fair,
a
though, but the
maybe it
pick
was a
did hit,
double.
though. So technically,
Well, right, but it was a double curse situation because it was the kicking curse.
because I was really picking. Ah,
Yeah.
frick.
Well, no, because it was the kicking curse into the picks and
Uh,
pancakes
well, because the
curse.
kicking curse was going against the picks and pancakes curse, and we all know the strength of the kicking curse is mighty. Like
Yeah.
the kicking curse is like, was it the goat curse in in Chicago? What do they call that curse?
The the curse of the Billy Goat. You're talking Cubs. We're talking Cubs. Yes.
Cubs, cause yeah, Chicago, yeah. So it's I'd argue it's stronger than the curse of the Billy Goat.
Even though the Ravens have won a playoff game.
No, but we're never gonna win a Super Bowl.
Right, and that's really the.
But it's easy. It's like the remedy is right there. It's outlined.
That was really dirty what they did. Because I was
Was.
with you. I was with you. We were supposed to kick on the field.
And by the way, I understand if the conditions aren't good, make it up to me. Because they said make it up in 2020. And I know immediately everyone's going to go, 2020, that was COVID year. Yeah, guess what? COVID happened in March. Like, no.
Well,
Oh, wait,
I
no,
think
that was my point. Yeah, never mind. Okay, COVID year, I could see that they're not
right. I
kicking.
think the better
But
take
what
would
about
be
this? What about this? 2021.
yes.
There it is. 2021. What about 2021? What about 2022?
Well, now it looks
Uh,
like 2023.
2023. If Ravens don't make it up to me, and I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna clip this, Patrick. Baltimore Ravens, 2023. If you guys don't make it up to me, all your offseason efforts will be squandered.
See, I
Anyway,
don't like
Patrick.
this. I don't like that because then it's like I, I it's like you're rooting against the team.
Okay, you're right. 2023 offseason Ravens. If you can remedy the situation, I believe in you. Is that like more positive?
I think that yeah, because you gave it a positive spin. I like that a lot better. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Vikings are frauds. Giants move on. Giants, I don't. Dayball is a hero, man. He might be able to coach in that city for the next 100 years.
Well, according to Colin Coward, I don't know if you saw this, but he thinks his job is secure. They'll hold on to him.
That's a great take. It's like, first year head coach comes in, wins first playoff game in, like 7 years or something crazy. I think he might keep that job. I think he might make it into 2023. I'm not, like I said, it's kind of up in the air still. I mean, he's still got, maybe if he wins like one or two more playoff games, he
I think you have
really
to
can
argue
solidify himself.
he still has a lot to prove. Daniel Jones,
He's got a
like
lot to prove. Yeah,
this guy.
that's the thing. That's what I don't get, man. I hope if we ever become that, Patrick, we need to really look at ourselves and evaluate it and check what's going on. And I love Colin Cowherd, but we're not aiming for that. That's not the goal. They say shoot for the moon. We're thinking a little bit past. If we're shooting for the moon, Colin Cowherd is like in the space station.
He's at the space station. Like it's
And it's
great.
great, and it's great view, I'm imagine. And do we have an update on the space race?
No, we don't.
We gotta
But I
get on
will say,
that.
have you seen that movie Geostorm?
No, what's a
I watched it
geostorm?
on HBO Max the other night, and let me tell you, just not a good movie.
Okay. Well, that's the good thing I haven't seen it then, I guess.
Well, they were talking about the space station, and they have to like save the world from these weather. Anyway, I can't get over like it wasn't good, but yet I sat down in three different watch settings and watched
And
it.
you watch it through, yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, they had something going for them.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
moving
don't.
on. Patrick, at the beginning of the season, the 49ers situation was interesting. And it makes the Ravens quarterback situation going into next year is what makes me think about it. They had Trey Lance and they said, we're going to roll with Trey Lance. And then Trey Lance comes out. He sucks. And then he gets injured. And then the next thing you know, Jimmy Garoppolo, who they said, nah, kick you to the curb. He's coming in the game. And guess what? He's winning games. And they're playing well. And everyone's like, this is the best thing to happen to the 49ers organization. And then the next thing you know, he gets hurt. And they're on the third string. Brock Purdy, who was the last pick of the draft pick. And then since then, Brock Purdy has balled out and made a name for himself. And now people are saying he can win the Super Bowl. And he played pretty good. And he already has 4 touchdowns in his postseason career, which is the same amount as Jimmy Garoppolo. Is that true?
I believe so, Josh. That's great statistical research.
Or a professional show here. And now, I are the 49ers better with Brock Purdy as the quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo?
Sure, why not? Sure, let's have this take. Well, here's the thing.
They smoked the Seahawks, Patrick.
Yeah, well, the Seahawks aren't very good. Okay, they wrote
That
back
well,
on
they
Gino. They wrote
wrote
back on Gino.
they wrote him off, and then he wrote back.
No, he ain't right back. So I thought that's
No,
what he said.
because he said he ain't right back, but then he wrote back this past weekend.
Yeah, but then like technically, you think of it like if you do a full circle in the quote, like he wouldn't want to write back in a loss, right? You would think like his writing back would be him winning.
Well, that's what you would think, but if he wins and he ain't right back when he wins, then I have to imagine when he loses, he writes back
Right.
because it's common courtesy.
Right. Anyway, Brock Purdy, I imagine here's the thing. I keep just waiting for him to fail. Like it's a rookie quarterback. You're not supposed to be able to do this. And so I'm waiting for him to have this bad playoff game or this just bad game in general, and he's not having it. He kind of had a bad first half, and then he still went out and just balled out in the second half. I I mean he's playing better than Jimmy Garoppolo was. So but also what there's five games of film on this guy, 6 games of film on him. It just something to tell 49ers
I'd
are my
argue
Super
that
Bowl
the
pick.
film though is like check downs to Christian McCaffrey. This is the thing that's great about Brock Purdy's situation is Brock Purdy has been given it's like this. Brock Purdy is an aspiring race car driver and everyone else is driving minivans and he was given a Lamborghini.
Yep.
And yeah, Lamborghini is a heck of a car to drive. You probably got to be able to handle that sucker. But also, you're driving a Lamborghini. Guess what? You're going to be able to go fast.
Yeah. And it just so happens that he's winning in the Lamborghini. So the numbers look good.
It's great. And by the way, if you can drive the Lamborghini and the Lamborghini is available to drive, no one's discrediting that. Good for you.
Yeah. I 49ers are my Super Bowl pick. I'm waiting. Like one day I feel like we're gonna sit here and we're gonna say, oh, Brock Purdy had a bad game. Like everybody saw that coming. But no, this is what I mean. I can't trust any opinion of mine anymore because I can't get an NFL game right. I just can't pick
Patrick,
anything right.
you'll get it. You'll find your groove, Patrick. That's what the playoffs are about. I went almost perfect yesterday through the playoffs so far, except for my pick of the Ravens from last show. But to be fair, I picked the Bengals on the pick of the week. So am I perfect right now? I would argue I am if we're
Yes.
going based off of official picks put out, because I would argue that Picks and Pancakes is an official pick. Thus the
Yeah.
name Picks and Pancakes.
Right. It does make it official. That's a good point.
Yeah. And then the last game we got to cover, Patrick. We already covered. Did we cover Bills Dolphins?
No, we haven't talked about Skylar Thompson
What
yet.
Skylar Thompson? He shows up, ruins a couple parlays,
Yeah,
covers.
I mean,
They almost have
heck
a
of an effort.
chance. You'd argue if Tua was there, they win that game. But also, this is pre-concussed Tua we're talking about.
Yeah, no, of course.
Um, And then I think the Bills might be worried, but also you have to, this is the problem, Patrick, is that they are division rivals. And I'd argue they're pretty severe division rivals because if you think about it, for a while the Patriots were on their own little island, and then they didn't really have any rivals in the division. It was
Yep.
just like they did what they did, and so all these the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills, they had to like form their own little division within the division. You know, like
Mhm.
hey, we're gonna play for second place. This is the season right here. You know, they're coming in, they're eliminated from playoff contention. 5-11, and they're going into week at the time week 17, and they're going, hey, this is for the division, guys. This is to win
Mhm.
the division. That's the type of rivalry we have going on here, and so they know each other. They play hard. This game means something. And if you play twice in a year, guess what? You're probably going to know a little bit of the tricks.
Look, Skylar Thompson, I think he put a hell of an effort out yesterday. The fact that they even
Great
remotely
effort.
got to 30 points. I know there was a defensive touchdown
Oh,
scored,
yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
after what we saw against the Jets, I mean, that's insane. Which I think you have to applaud Flacco again for making sure that the Dolphins won that game so the Steelers wouldn't
Yeah.
be eliminated. So I think that goes
Flacco's,
in.
yeah.
Right. So Skylar Thompson, I mean, hell of an effort by the kid, but I didn't realize that there was a team worse than the Ravens at getting out of the huddle and running into delay of games.
Yeah. 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 I didn't realize that either. But you know what?
Like Josh,
That
I don't know about
happens.
you. It's generally not a good thing when you're still in the huddle and there's 4 seconds left on the play clock.
Usually not a good thing. And not now,
Normal.
granted, I always like to put the disclaimer: I'm not a professional football coach,
Yep.
nor am I a player, offensive coordinator. Hey, maybe I could be for a quarter if the Ravens want to, break the curse. But yeah, I agree with you, Patrick. Probably not a good look. Probably not a good look. But hey, the Bills are moving on. They're going to play the Bengals, and we're going to get that game that you know we've been waiting for. So that's good. That's great.
And I'm
Anyway, I think that's
sure
the show. What?
we're going to hear from Cincinnati how it should not be played in Buffalo this week and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So,
it shouldn't be playing Buffalo. It should be a coin flip. Let's be
well,
real. Like
they legitimately have a better record than you do in the
yeah,
same amount of games played. So there's no like, oh, there's a
yeah.
half game anyway.
Oh yeah, like shut up. No, what? Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. If that's going to be, if they do a coin flip there, they should have done a coin flip for the division when, even though we lost to the Bengals.
Right. Like, and then I love that spin zone. It's like, well, really, the game should have been played in Baltimore yesterday. Like, we all know that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's like, come on.
like,
Anyway, Patrick, that I mean, we could a lot of stuff to talk about here, but I think that's the show. We listen. We got an exciting game tonight. We're gonna watch Tom Brady. He's I'm a Tom Brady fan from here on out for the playoffs. Let's
100%.
go.
I got my
Let's go get
TB12
eight.
here.
Let's go get eight. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how the Cowboys can handle playing in Tampa against Tampa Tom.
I can't wait for the Cowboys to figure out a way to lose.
It's gonna be awesome. And if they win, man, oh man, this is gonna be a terrible weekend. It could be a terrible weekend.
I just want to wake up, watch First Take tomorrow morning, and see Stephen A. just absolutely roast
Well,
Mike Orr.
it's kind of nice because, and now I can just root and make content from completely unbiased. Like, I don't care
Right.
anymore. I can have any take I want, and I can root for any team I want, and it will not affect anything in my
Yep.
life.
It's
It's very
true.
freeing in that sense.
You
So
can't be
I'm
heartbroken
excited about
anymore.
that. Patrick, what do you got going on today? Real quick, you got like a minute and 10 seconds.
Josh, I mean, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so today's a
That's
big,
cool.
yeah, so we get off, but it's a big, try to get ahead on work, and that's,
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, we
might
got
might probably write out a blog post this afternoon, so look for that on
good. Hey, listen.
pigsandpancakes.com.
Everything's going well. We're up. Views are up.
Yeah, and we'll have a preview tonight of the Cowboys Bucks from Wade, so look out, be on the
Oh,
lookout
heck
for that.
yeah. Heck yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing. I'll see you soon. Have a kill. Hey, let's go attack today, guys. Let's go attack today. Good morning,
Go
by the
Orioles.
way. Good morning. Go Orioles.
Good show, Josh.
Great job. Great job.
I
I
think
think,
we're
I
about to
mean, yeah,
get kicked
it's going
off
to
here.
add. But anyway, dude, you have a nice day, man.
Yes, you too, Josh. Nice
Wait,
sweatshirt.
we gotta time we don't know. Oh, wait. See you, Patrick. Wait.
See you, Josh.
Bye, Patrick. Wait. Take it easy, Patrick.
Hey, have a great
Come
day,
on.
Josh.
Hey, have a great day. You have a good morning.
You know what? Attack the day.
Enjoy. Oh. We missed it, guys.